Proving yourself to others will never bring you a sense of deep fulfillment and life purpose. Yes, it can bring you some temporary satisfaction, but I feel like a lot of people who move through life trying to please people can end up feeling like there is something missing on a deeper level in their core. How do you get audacious enough to be yourself unapologetically? And how do you stop trying to gain everyone's approval? Hey guys, my name is Polina, if this is your first time meeting me. And sometimes we get so lost in this intertwined web of all of these societal opinions that it's hard to even know what you want anymore. Let's make sure we get back on the track in terms of living our own authentic best lives. Think of yourself as a child. What kind of child were you? How bothered were you by the opinions of other people? Were you trying to please anyone, or were you just being authentically yourself? Before filming this video today, I was watching my childhood videos from my previous YouTube channel that I kept as a child. And it's honestly so fun to see it because I didn't have a care in the world. I couldn't care less what anyone would think about me. I was just posting these funny, energetic, really crazy videos, and I didn't care what I was doing it for. I was just expressing myself very freely. I had this utmost confidence in terms of who I was and what I was going to do. I was very decisive. And I really miss that childhood part of myself. Over time, I feel like family and friends and teachers at school and all of these authority figures started shaping us in one way or the other. But maybe your childhood version of you was very, very fierce. And this version of you is still very much within you, just buried under all of this rubble of like random things. Ask yourself, when did you start caring so much about approval of other people? When you were a child, was your voice ever dismissed? Was it overridden? Did anyone convince you that they knew better? I think it probably happened to most of us, but it's time to reclaim your power because we are not children anymore, and honestly, no one can govern us the same way as when we were children. So maybe the root of this people-pleasing behavior can be found in your childhood. But I feel like it makes sense to look deeper, like why are we acting this way if we are no longer children? There is this very deeply ingrained urgency to belong. Sense of belonging gives us so much comfort, and it defines us on so many levels. In the past, our survival literally depended on us belonging. Like, we did not want to be exiled from the group, so we had to conform. So at the very basic level, this is a survival mechanism. But at the same time, we don't have to live just according to our animalistic instincts anymore. We can look beyond it, like on Abraham Maslow's pyramid of needs. We can look beyond the survival and we can progress to other stages like self-expression and creativity. Another reason why we try to prove ourselves is because we see power in numbers and we see certain people as authority figures, and we start to put them on a pedestal above ourselves, above our own identity, above our personality, above whatever we believe in. If there is a majority believing something, it's very likely that we will be fearsome of believing otherwise, so we just try to conform. And this phenomenon has been well documented in like the conformity study conducted by Asch. And our fear of authority was also well researched, especially by Stanley Milgram's obedience studies. I'm not going to go into detail about these studies, but you should look them up if you're interested in this topic. I just think that these studies help us understand how much influence society has on us. So ask yourself, are there any people in your life that you are particularly trying to please? And if they say something, you kind of take it at a face value and you don't even examine it, whether it's like true for you or it's not. You just think that this is the ultimate truth. And I feel like if you can identify these people in your life, this will start helping you diminish their influence on you, because you can only gain ultimate freedom if you prioritize your opinion over anyone else's on this planet when it comes down to living your life the way you want to live it. The biggest reason why we try to prove ourselves to others is that we want to be loved. I think every person wants to be loved, and love is our biggest motivator. And we think to ourselves, if we behave according to how someone else wants us to behave, we will kind of like earn their love. But there is one big caveat with this kind of unconscious logic. We have to ask ourselves, would this love be unconditional? If we change our behavior, if we become our authentic selves, will we still be loved? If right now you are a lawyer with a degree from Harvard and you're working at a corporate law firm and everyone in your life is admiring you and loving you, but tomorrow you decide to become an actor and you abandon your corporate job, will everyone love you the same way? That's why I think you just can't please everyone, and the one person you should be seeking approval from is yourself. Give yourself the unconditional love, the kind of love that honestly is hard to expect from anyone else. So let's get to the action part of the video. How do you stop trying to prove yourself to others and instead start respecting yourself, loving yourself, and prioritizing your own values and decisions? One practice that I recommend is morning pages. Try sleeping with your phone in a different room, and then when you wake up, instead of looking at your phone, you don't even approach it. You just go into your living room or stay in your bedroom and you pull out a journal and you start journaling about the things that you want in your life. Don't think about it too much. Don't try to make it perfect. Just whatever pops into your head, start writing it down. And this will be a way for you to learn more about yourself. Over time, you will get to know yourself and respect yourself, and certain patterns might start emerging in terms of what is important to you in your life. Another thing that can be very helpful is little social media detoxes. We spend so much time absorbing information about other people's lives that we might not have enough bandwidth left to think about our own and think about our person and what we want to bring into this world, what kind of art we want to create, what kind of person we want to show up as, what kind of values we want to uphold. So I think it's important to maybe delete Instagram and YouTube for like 2 days or even 1 day and just be with yourself for a little bit without any external social media input. Another very important practice is loving yourself. I know everyone is talking about it, but I think it's so important to tell yourself how much you love yourself and respect yourself multiple times a day. Sometimes I'm walking around and I tell myself, I love you, Polina. I tell myself that I'm here with myself. And it's honestly a very reassuring practice because you know that you will stay with yourself no matter what. And to bring these habits into your life, I really recommend reading Louise Hay's books. I love her so much. She is honestly the light in the darkness. She is amazing and I hold her in very, very high regard. But yeah, you can take any book written by her and I think it will definitely uplift you and it will make you feel so good about yourself. The next step would be to start reclaiming your own territory, and you can start small. One of the biggest things you can do is stop asking for advice. Start thinking for yourself. What do you want to wear? What do you want to buy? What kind of style you want to have? Like, this is the most simple, easy thing that you can start with. And starting small is the best thing you can do because you will start practicing doing what you want, wearing what you want, and arranging your schedule in a way that you want instead of trying to prove yourself to someone by wearing something. So you start practicing being bold in these little ways, and then it will carry over to bigger things in life. And you can also make it fun and play pretend. You would ask yourself, how would I act today if I were XYZ? Like, if I was amazing at a certain job, like if I were a very big YouTuber today, what would I do? How would I show up? What kind of day would I have? Who would I text? Where would I go? What would I look like? You know, so you're just like playing a role and you can make it fun. I think overall, the more playfulness you have with your life, the better, because sometimes we get so serious and so boring that it just like doesn't make any sense to me. I think we should bring more fun from our childhood into our day-to-day life. The next thing is to assert yourself in one topic. Pick one topic where you want to take a stance, where you are not going to care what anyone will think of you, and just take a stance. It may be something where you might really deviate from what majority thinks, or maybe not, but you know that even if the majority of people will change their opinions, you might stick to your opinion. You will assert your own power in this specific thing that you pick. Like, one of my big things is that I am a vegetarian, and the majority of people that surround me are omnivores. So I'm constantly practicing this skill of not conforming. Maybe I would get more approval if I were omnivorous like most people. But at the same time, that's not what I believe in. So in this case, I'm just sticking to my gut and I am upholding my own values. And the final thing that I'm going to say is the biggest one. Learn to trust yourself. Trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling. Go with it instead of trying to gain approval from a lot of different people who might think different things, who might voice their disapproval or their disbelief in you. But you go with yourself, and only you know how you feel. Only you know what's right for you. No one else can dictate the rules for you. So please remember that and learn to trust yourself even more than you trust anyone else in your life. You will live the rest of your life with you. You're the only person on this planet who is with you every second of every day, from the moment you're born till the moment you die. So I think it is much more beneficial to respect that person and trust that person and love that person instead of looking for the outside guidance. You have everything you need within you. Thank you guys for being here with me today, and I will see you in my next video.